Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2 Lift in our Expert on the Microphone series, we're featuring, of course, in honor of the past Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we're joined by board-certified gynecologist Dr. Shyrlena Bogard and breast cancer survivor Rebecca Ewing Fisher. Diagnosed in October of 2017 with stage 2 breast cancer, Rebecca has fought a courageous battle and has remarkably been in remission since 2018, demonstrating resilience both personally and professionally. With a holistic approach to health, Dr. Shyrlena specializes in addressing the complex challenges women face in areas such as sexual health, hormone imbalances, and weight management. They're both passionate about empowering women to optimize their well-being and lead wealthy lifestyles. Today, they're going to join me to discuss Rebecca's cancer journey, the long road to recovery, and improving female sexual health with CO2 Lift V, of course, at the heart of it all. Welcoming now to the show our superstars, Rebecca and Shyrlena. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You guys are in sync to begin with. Okay, Rebecca, I heard a very interesting story backstage on how the two of you met. Please do share.
Yes. Well, about 13 years ago, I had the privilege of connecting with Shyrlena on the stage of an NPC national level female bodybuilding competition. We were very excited to both win the classes that we were in, and we became fast friends.
Shyrlena, this is obviously a match made in heaven.
Yes, it was the irony is it's when we met, it was Rebecca actually beat me in the overall. So we both won our classes, but for our age competition, because we were both in the 40 and over at the time, she won the overall. And we were joking about the white girl had the booty because, as they say in the bodybuilding world, shows are won from the back. And so in order for her to beat me, that meant her backside had to be more impressive than mine. But no, we connected, and she was just such a beautiful soul, and just so, it was, you meet people along the way. There are genuine people, and then there are people that, okay, this is just for this experience, and I'll probably never see them again. Rebecca was one of those people that you just wanted to have in your corner as a friend when I met her.
It's so interesting how things come full circle. And when I said a match made in heaven, the audience will find out soon why. So let's dive right in. According to the National Cancer Institute, while the prevalence of a harmful BRCA gene mutation in the general population is just about 0.2 to 0.3%, more than 60% of women who inherit a mutation will develop breast cancer during their lifetime. Now, Rebecca, I know you were positive for a BRCA1 mutation, so you fall into this statistic. But let's go back to the beginning. Can you walk us through your initial breast cancer diagnosis? Did you previously know you were BRCA1 positive, or did you experience symptoms that made you realize something was wrong?
I had no idea about the BRCA positive aspect of things. I just found a lump randomly one morning or taking a shower, had it checked out, and did not know anything about BRCA until quite a bit into the process of becoming diagnosed and going through all the testing. And then my father actually had already been diagnosed at the same time. And that's when we kind of connected the dots to my grandmother, who had passed 25 years earlier of breast cancer.
And what was your treatment like? I know you had over 15 chemotherapy treatments and several major surgeries, such as a double mastectomy, fat grafting, and a full hysterectomy. But after all of this and being declared in remission in 2018, how did it leave your body feeling, and what challenges did you or do you continue to face?
5 months of chemo. It was around 20 sessions of chemo. It was 6 weeks of radiation. And I actually had 7 surgeries with full hysterectomy and a full double mastectomy and fat transfers, like you shared. It was devastating. Having been a national competitive athlete and then going through just basically the destruction of my physique was mind blowing, because you just really realize how resilient you have to be to just be grateful for your life. I continued to just struggle with figuring out how I could get through all of these types of upheavals. Once I was through one, I just kept focusing on the next, and then the next, and the next. And honestly, the way I felt about my body is obviously very grateful that I had the strength from my training, from my fitness training, to be able to mentally and emotionally get through it all. I think that's probably the biggest thing that people don't know and don't understand, is that it's a very emotional journey. And so having the fortitude mentally to be able to say, you know what, I've gone through all the things to get my body prepared in this way. And I really honestly believe that I had worked so hard on my emotional empowerment personally, that this had taken me to another level to be able to fight this. And so, and of course, my father was going through his own journey, and I had a 2-year-old at home. So all of this was compounding on itself for me. My poor mother, I always think of her, but it was full of anxiety. My body felt very foreign. I did not have the same recognition of myself. I lost my physical beauty. And I just had to remain very conscious that I would recover and that I would be better than I ever was.
Wow. Okay. This is a lot to unpack, but you are a trailblazer and you're here and you have this new lease on life and this incredible shining attitude that is just paving the way for other women who are listening to you and looking up to you like a role model. So Dr. Shyrlena, throughout this entire ordeal, bring me up to speed, Dr. Shyrlena, on how you re-entered Rebecca's life.
At the time, I was launching a intimacy wellness clinic in Palm Springs, California. And so as a part of that, we had a lot of things that were on social media. And because Rebecca and I followed one another on social media, she knew my journey in launching the sexual wellness clinic. So she reached out to me one day, and this was before she had the hysterectomy. And one of the things she didn't share is that she was young in her marriage. And so she had this absolutely wonderful husband. As she said, they had a 2-year-old. And so, like many women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and have done the brave thing of getting the treatments, one of the things that happens is you save your life, but then you lose everything that defines you. And one of those things sometimes, unfortunately, happens to be their intimate relationship with their partner. And oftentimes I've had women who've gone through the breast cancer journey who have said, if I had known I was going to lose my life through this journey, it wouldn't have been worth it to go through all of this, because of losing the most important relationship is their intimate connection to their partner. And so Rebecca had reached out to me before her hysterectomy and was telling me some of the things she was going on, how it was affecting her relationship. And I just said to her, I said, get through the hysterectomy and I'm going to help you get back to feeling good about yourself.
All right. Now I want to frame this next part, because this is the important part that I'm coming to full circle. So as an OB-GYN, right? You're an OB-GYN. I'm sure you've seen many women from all walks of life, not just Rebecca, including many cancer survivors.
Yes.
While beating breast cancer is, of course, a remarkable accomplishment, survivorship comes with its own set of challenges, like you just said. There's pain, there's fatigue, sexual dysfunction, right? Cognitive problems, cardiovascular issues, and so many other health issues due to the treatment. So looking at sexual dysfunction specifically, there's approximately 50% of breast cancer survivors that report some type of sexual difficulty, and 45% specifically report sexual pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you often recommend the CO2 Lift V for breast cancer survivors facing these very challenges. Why do you recommend this product? And can you explain how it works and what the benefits are?
CO2 Lift is an at-home product that patients can use. And what it does is it helps the body to naturally repair itself. By infusing carbon dioxide, the product actually helps the body to create its own oxygen. And oxygen is very important when it comes to tissue repair. Through this at-home modality, patients can treat themselves and maintain any treatments that they get in the office. And so oftentimes women who are, for whatever reason, be it for medical reasons or personal choice, who want to avoid hormone products, this is a non-hormonal product that will give them the benefits of what hormones sometimes can do. But I also like to say that this is also, I'm a holistic, I take a holistic approach. So I don't believe anything is all good or all bad. Each client is different. Each client has individual desires. And so we look at everything in our basket, and oftentimes the CO2 Lift V becomes one of the products that we use. So for instance, with Rebecca, I believe if I recall correctly, we did a laser procedure to help repair some of the tissue damage that occurred as a result of her treatments, but as a way to, one, help heal from the laser procedure, but also maintain the results of the laser procedure. The CO2 Lift steps in because it helps to maintain the health of that tissue long term.
And now, for women concerned about introducing new treatments during recovery, how do you address the safety and efficacy of CO2 Lift V?
So it's a product that is safe for anyone. It's essentially side effect free. Because it induces the body to produce its own oxygen to repair and heal itself. We're not introducing foreign products into the body that can have toxic effects on the tissue. And so it's safe for anyone. I use it, as I said, in my moms who have just had babies, who are breastfeeding, moms who've had C-sections, and some of the things that they encounter. And so it's safe from anywhere from an 18-year-old client to a 90-year-old postmenopausal patient, but it's something that is safe for anyone to use.
Rebecca, I know Dr. Shyrlena recommended CO2 Lift V. I'd love to hear your experience, firstly, with how your cancer treatment affected your marriage and sexual health, and then how CO2 Lift V helped.
I remember calling Shyrlena up the next morning after having used it, and I said, girl, what is this stuff? This is amazing. This feels so good. And I felt so restored. First of all, restored emotionally with my husband. I was just, laser is one thing. It requires quite a bit of, it's more expensive, and then it has a lengthy series that you need to go through, and there's some recovery and downtime. With the CO2 Lift V, and at first I was thinking, why am I doing the V, this gel, alongside of something I paid so much money for? And knowing that the gel is $100 ish, depending on, how many per treatment, depending on how many treatments you're doing alongside of a series of lasers, excuse me. But in my case, I felt so soothed by the gel. I felt like it really amplified the results that I wanted. I wanted to feel that experience like I was used to feeling with my husband, especially. But I felt good, and I hadn't felt good for a very long time. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is the holy grail. Like, what can I do to bring this to my oncology team and to other breast cancer survivors and other patients? They deserve to feel this way. Why doesn't anyone know about this? How come no one told me about this before? And so I reached out to her and I said, please connect me with the CEO of this company so that I can be a voice. I want to be a voice to bring this product to the market.
Wow, this is such a beautiful story. I knew some of it, but not all of it. And this warms my heart and makes everything make so much more sense. Now, before we wrap up here, Rebecca, as a breast cancer survivor and someone dedicated to a healthy lifestyle, what advice would you give to those currently receiving treatment and pushing through the recovery process?
I would honestly, from my heart, say don't ever give up, and don't ever stop advocating for yourself. This is something that is so important. It may seem like this experience is never ending. And I remember feeling that, how can it be to be on the other side as a survivor? What is that going to be like? No one is there to walk you through it and hold your hand. You've got to be able to be reminding yourself of that every day, that you will get through it. And that's part of it, to have that self-talk that, no matter what, when you feel as low as low as you can imagine feeling, and then lower than that. Just ask for help and just continue to believe that there is an incredible life waiting for you, that this is an experience and it doesn't define you, and you will be better than you ever known yourself to be.
You are a trailblazer. Amen. Dr. Shyrlena, any closing thoughts to women out there who are currently emotionally, mentally, and physically just exhausted with either their cancer treatments or their prognosis or diagnosis? What do you want to say to them?
Well, first, I want to piggyback on what Rebecca said, and never give up. Never give up, and believe that there is another side to it. It's always good to surround yourself with supportive people. If you have a healthcare provider who you don't feel is listening to you, then it's okay to reach out to someone else, because just like I existed for Rebecca, there are so many other physicians out there like me who want to see women live a whole life. Oftentimes in medicine, we have a tendency to make patients their diagnoses, and we forget that there are people, they are mothers, they are daughters, their sisters, their best friends, their lovers. And so you have to find that practitioner who recognizes that you're more than your diagnosis, and who will partner with you in finding solutions that not only help you to reach your goals, but also help you to just feel good about the life that you're living. When Rebecca called me, that is why I am so passionate about this, is because when I see the life that she's living now, so many women give up and accept that this is life for me now. And when a woman does not have a healthy, intact, intimate relationship, it affects every other portion of her life. So the woman who becomes proactive about protecting and enhancing her intimate relationship is just going to be a phenomenal, just unstoppable trailblazer in every area of her life, as you see Rebecca has done. And I will say this, she's not going to say it, but she did join the CO2 Lift family. So she is one of their top representatives. I'm really good friends with Lana Kerr, the owner of CO2 Lift. And we often talk about just how Rebecca has joined the family and has taken off, and she is one of the top representatives for CO2 Lift V.
Wow, look at this. More blessings.
In case you're watching, you're a medical provider and you're in Los Angeles or Orange County, I would love to meet you and share CO2 Lift Pro and CO2 Lift V with you.
Wow, so many surprises on this interview. I love it. Well, we are officially out of time, and we have gone way over our time because we're having such a great conversation. I thank you both for coming on. You are a trailblazer in your field, Dr. Shyrlena, and Rebecca. You are just a beacon of hope, light, and a warrior. Thank you so much for being you. You are representing so many women and making us proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
With over 4 million breast cancer survivors in the U.S., today transparency and informative conversations are so important, like these very ones that we just had. The road to recovery is a very long one, so it's vital to be informed on the proper treatments that can ease your comfort and, more importantly, get you back to living a healthy life. That was our Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2 Lift, and that was the incredible Rebecca Ewing Fisher, experienced account executive in the aesthetic sales industry, based in LA, and a remarkable breast cancer survivor. Definitely check her out on the gram at Rebecca Ewing Fisher. And of course, check out the incredible board certified gynecologist, Dr. Shyrlena Bogard, as well at Dr. Shyrlena Bogard. It's Shyrlena Bogard, Bogard. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase in luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to CO2lift.com.